वापस लो 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 वापस लो
As I spent a sleepless night, I don't want to run the house like this. I am adjourning the house to meet at 12.
The Parliament's monsoon session ended 2 days ahead of schedule on a very stormy note. From the day the session began on July 19th, opposition parties picked up the cudgels and began a series of protests. These protests never ended till the last day of the session on August 11th. In fact, they got uglier and abusive. The government, too, of course, remained adamant, digging in its heels, refusing to relent to any of the opposition's demands. Now, today, both the opposition and the government held press conferences decrying the other's behavior. Biggest casualty in this political drama, however, became the dignity of the parliament and a new low for India's parliamentary democracy. Be that as it may, here is a look at the 5 things that marked the stormy monsoon session of Parliament. First up, the opposition protests. In terms of acrimony, it was an ugly session that saw it all. Protests, disruptions, suspensions, calls for punishment, furious protests by the opposition, and very well coordinated action by them against the Pegasus controversy, farm laws, and the fuel price hike. They, of course, wanted a discussion on the Pegasus row with Amit Shah or the Prime Minister Narendra Modi present in the House, but that, of course, never happened. In fact, the last day of the session, the Rajya Sabha saw the most unruly scenes ever, with opposition members seen jostling with security personnel, shouting, pushing, shoving amidst an acrimonious standoff with the marshals.
वापस लो वापस लो वापस लो वापस लो
It was a parliament session that saw both the Lok Sabha Speaker and the Rajya Sabha Chairman at their wits' end, trying to conduct business and bring the House to order amidst pandemonium. The penultimate day of the session, in fact, saw Chairman VENKAIAH NAIDU break down a day after opposition MPs climbed tables, threw books in the Rajya Sabha.
As I spent a sleepless night, last night,
In terms of time, it was a bad session. The Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha functioned for just 22% and 20%, 28% of their allotted times. The Lok Sabha used just 21 hours and 14 minutes of the stipulated time of 96 hours. It was the lowest since the winter session of 2016 when the opposition took on the government over demonetization. The Rajya Sabha, on the other hand, used 28 hours and 21 minutes out of its stipulated 102 hours. In terms of legislation, however, it was a good session. The government successfully managed to introduce 15 bills and get a parliament's nod for over 20. Now, although this did mean that some of the key bills were passed in minutes, while nobody else, with just the minister in charge speaking. Some crucial bills, in fact, were passed within 5 minutes in the Lok Sabha amid opposition uproar. Taking a dig at the speed with which the government was rushing through the bills, Trinamool leader Derek O'Brien even took to Twitter comparing it to making papri chaat. Across both houses, however, there was a fragile peace and a rare show of opposition unity on one piece of legislation, that is the Constitutional Amendment Bill that empowers states to draw their own list of other backward classes. A long discussion was held on it and it was passed unanimously. That's all in this session of Take 5. We will keep coming back to you with more. Stay tuned to Hindustan Times for more news and updates.